The world's rarest diseases. Our world is full of strange and unbelievable things. Every day, we discover new conditions and diseases that we couldn't even imagine existing a few years before. Scientists and doctors spend their lifetimes studying and trying to find cures for these never-ending medical discoveries, but some of them are just unbelievably shocking. Today, we bring you some mysterious diseases you may have never heard of. Hello, and welcome to Info Junkie TV, where we teach you all about the world's weirdest and most fascinating things. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell for more mind-blowing topics. And without further ado, here are our top 10 picks of the world's rarest diseases. Number 10. Foreign Accent Syndrome. Foreign Accent Syndrome, or FAS, is a medical condition that manifests in patients by having them develop speech patterns that are different from their native accent, without acquiring it in the perceived accent's place of origin. Imagine someone from the UK suddenly started to speak with a French accent, or someone from Texas speaking in a German accent. Weird, right? The person's speech may also be altered in terms of timing, intonation, vowel distortion, or consonant substitution. FAS can be caused by a stroke, head trauma, or severe migraines. The disease was discovered in 1907, but is so rare that only 62 cases were recorded between 1941 and 2009. And although people can suddenly start speaking with a different accent, they don't acquire any further skills or mastery of the language itself. In 2010, a Croatian speaker was said to have gained the ability to speak fluent German. Number 9. Congenital analgesia. Said to be caused by an increased production of endorphins in the brain, congenital analgesia, or CIP, is a condition in which the patient cannot feel and has never felt any physical pain. This disease has nothing to do with other hereditary diseases, as it shows different and less specific genes and symptoms. Seeing as physical pain is a crucial part of survival, this condition is considered to be extremely dangerous. The patient usually has one of two responses. Either the pain stimulus is not perceived at all, which means the person is insensitive to pain and is unable to describe where it comes from or its intensity, or the pain stimulus can be perceived, but they lack the proper response like flinching or exposure withdrawal, making them indifferent to any sort of pain. If the person doesn't feel any pain, then they won't be able to recognize or react to any injury, which is why most people suffering from this condition can suffer from oral cavities, biting off their tongue, fractured bones, or infections without knowing, and thus being unable to treat it. Number 8. Microcephaly. Microcephaly is a rare neurological condition in which an infant's head is significantly smaller than normal. The condition manifests at birth or early in the child's development. It usually occurs as a result of the brain developing abnormally in the womb or not growing as it should after birth, which can be the result of many reasons, including but not particular to alcohol consumption during pregnancy. Children with microcephaly often have developmental issues like intellectual disabilities due to the lack of brain development and low motor function. One of the symptoms is also dwarfism, as well as a high risk for seizures. There's generally no treatment for it, although it is said that an early intervention with supportive therapies, such as speech and occupational therapies, may help enhance your child's development and improve quality of life. Number 7. Fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva, FOP. Fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva, also known as FOP, and also known as Munchmeyer disease, is an extremely rare connective tissue disease. This is mainly caused by a mutation of the gene ACVR1, which is responsible for the development and repair of the skeletal system. It affects the body's ability to naturally heal its fibrous tissues like tendons and ligaments, essentially meaning that any injury will become healed by replacing muscle and connective tissue by bones. This formation of bones outside the initial skeleton will eventually lead to stiffness and constraints in movements. The disease causes joint degradation as well and can cause them to completely immobilize if they turn to bone. Any bone formation surrounding the rib cage will also create respiratory problems due to the restriction of lung and diaphragm expansions. If the patient is treated right and continually, they can live up to 40 years, but any delay, whether from infection, trauma, or treatment, will definitely reduce their life expectancy. Number 6. Hutchinson-Gilford Progeria syndrome. Hutchinson-Gilford Progeria syndrome, or simply Progeria, is a genetic condition characterized by a rapid and abnormal appearance of aging in children. Symptoms usually develop during the first few months of life and become more and more prominent as they grow. These symptoms include aged-looking skin, hair loss, joint abnormalities, cardiovascular problems, and massive weight loss. Most people affected by the disease have a head larger than their body and a beak nose. They usually look small and fragile, with very prominent scalp veins. Very few patients live until their late teens or early 20s, and sadly, no cure has been discovered. Number 5. Harlequin-type Ichthyosis. Harlequin-type Ichthyosis is a severe genetic disorder caused by mutations in the ABCA12 gene. The child is born covered in plates of thick skin that crack and split apart. The thick plates can distort facial features and restrict breathing and eating. This condition is inherited in an autosomal recessive pattern, meaning that the child inherits 2 mutated genes, one from each parent. The diagnosis is usually done based on the baby's appearance at birth, and then confirmed by genetic testing. In some cases, the symptoms can start showing even before birth through an ultrasound. When it was first discovered in the 18th century, the disease was almost always fatal to the newborn infant, but now, thanks to treatment and early care, the patient actually has a chance of survival. Number 4. Allstrom Syndrome. Allstrom Syndrome is a rare condition that affects multiple body systems, with signs and symptoms manifesting at the beginning of infancy or early childhood. It was first discovered in 1959 by Swedish psychiatrist Carl Henry Allstrom. The disease is characterized by a lot of different organ issues such as progressive loss of vision and hearing, a heart disease that enlarges and weakens the heart muscle, diabetes, obesity, and many more. Allstrom syndrome is one of the rarest diseases in the world, with only 900 reported cases till now, and the lack of a cure makes it very hard for patients to go over the age of 50. Since there is no definite cure, the symptoms are usually treated separately, like medication for diabetes, corrective lenses and hearing aids for the loss of senses, a specific diet to fight obesity, and so on. Number 3. Epidermodysplasia vericiformis. Epidermodysplasia vericiformis, or Lewandowski-Lutz dysplasia, named after Felix Lewandowski and Wilhelm Lutz, the physicians who first discovered it, is most commonly known as the tree man disease. It is an extremely rare and hereditary skin condition that manifests in the form of scaly warts resembling tree bark all over the body. Symptoms of this condition can appear at any age, although more than half of the recorded cases are children in between the ages of 5 and 11. This condition is the result of a pH mutation within the genes. The disease's growth may be limited to a small cluster of warts or extend to more than 100 covering massive parts of the body. There is no definite cure for EV, so treatment is mainly to alleviate symptoms. And although surgery to remove the lesions can be successful, it may only be a temporary solution. Number 2. Field's disease. One of the rarest diseases in the world, Field's disease, is a neuromuscular disease that causes muscular degeneration. It was named after the only 2 diagnosed cases in the world, the Fields twins. These 2 girls were diagnosed with this unique condition a few years after their birth, when after numerous tests, the doctors were unable to determine its cause or match it to any other. The disease was named after them. The twins are now 26 and require wheelchairs as well as electronic speaking aids to be able to communicate, similar to Stephen Hawking. However, the disease has no apparent effect on their mental capabilities, even though the extent of the condition, including life expectancy, is still unknown. Number 1. Aquagenic Urticaria. A lot of people suffer from different allergies, whether they are caused by certain foods or environmental components. But can you imagine being allergic to water? Impossible, right? Well, folks, this is exactly what this disease is. Aquagenic urticaria is a rare condition in which hives develop rapidly on the skin after coming in contact with water, whether it be cold, lukewarm, or hot. Symptoms of this condition often start around puberty and are mostly found in women. Other than the red blotches on your skin, some patients also report an itching sensation. Due to the rarity of this disease, very little information can be found concerning treatments, and any medications used have had variable success. Can you imagine being in pain just by washing your face or taking a shower? What an unfathomable experience. So tell us, is your mind blown yet? The human body is truly a mystery that we keep discovering more on every day. Now that we're reaching the end of our video, we'd like to ask you to take into consideration that all these pics are actual diseases that are very real and very hard for those suffering from them. So please be kind and considerate, and always look to further enhance your knowledge about these things. Thank you, Infomaniacs, for tuning in and watching Info Junkie TV. We really hope you enjoyed our picks for today. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more upcoming content. Turn on the notification bell to make sure you don't miss all the crazy and wild videos we have coming your way. Tell us in the comments what you thought of our list, and if there are any other diseases we may not have mentioned. Thanks for watching, Infomaniacs. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.